tickets to war. And I see you in my dreams. I could dream of me, don't pretend my words were empty. Like the world you left without me.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the show. The one, the only Bar Talk. That's right. I don't know what you would do without me. It's I feel like you'd all be lonely bastards sitting in your bubbles. That is, your antisocial, musicless bubbles without me. And I'm so thankful you aren't, because that was a phenomenal track, which is also called Without Me, would you believe, by an absolute Kiwi talent. Marianne Leigh, whom you might remember we played a little while back, way back, on episode 58, way back in August. You may remember her previous single, Sweet Goodbyes, which was an excellent track. And I just knew that we had to have a little bit more. Well, that couldn't be our last goodbye. It had to be that we had to say hello to Marianne, which you're going to do right now because she's on the line from Auckland, to say hello about all of the lovely things that she's been up to. So, Marianne, welcome to the show, first of all.
Hi. I love those little puns you snuck in with the song titles. That's really nice. I like those.
Thank you. I had a bit to work off, so, it's kudos to the artist, I think, when the puns just write themselves.
Thank you.
But yeah, welcome to the show, and congratulations too, because you have just released, well, I guess you can sort of say it because I'm sick and tired of telling people about what other artists are doing. You can tell me what you've been up to. What have you just done?
So, thank you. Well, I just released an EP called Simple Things. So really exciting.
Which indeed, and it is very exciting because that song Without Me was is your actually most recent single off the EP, or so I'm told.
Yes, it is.
You must be pretty chuffed that it's out now. As of recording, it's out now for everyone to hear and listen to.
Yeah, because honestly, for the longest time, probably, well, to me, 6 months is a long time. But to hold on to a song for 6 months is a while. And for the last 6 months, I made myself a little SoundCloud playlist with the EP and secretly listening to it myself. So
when we look on your SoundCloud now that it's up public, we see 10,000 plays. That's not because 10,000 people have listened to it. It's just, 9,990 times you listening to it, and 10 times, I don't know, your friend listening to it and going, I need a better mix on this. Can you tell me where the bass needs to sit in the frequency range here? It's because it's just sounding terrible right now.
You got to be your own biggest supporter and just keep streaming it yourself.
So do you reckon that's just hyped you up for the actual release? You're like, this EP is so good. If you listen to it 10,000 times, you'll just be hyped.
Well, you either get super hyped or you hate the songs and you never want to listen to it again. I'm at the stage where I'm hyped.
You're hyped.
So I'm happy. When I got my because I made my first ever CDs. Actually, they were from Australia. I got them sent over, so thanks for that.
No worries.
When I got my first ever CDs with the EP on it, I literally played it. I play it all the time. I still play it in my car when I drive. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. I do listen to myself in the car.
That isn't because you jammed it in too hard one day and it got stuck. And that's all you've got.
No, it's by choice. By choice every time.
Okay. Because there was a friend I had that had that same situation, but it was I think it was the In Excess album Original Sin. And I said, look, he's like, all I can hear is Michael Hutchence on repeat, and my radio doesn't work. I said, look, it's better than some albums. So it's like, if you get a CD stuck in your CD player and that's all you have to listen to, you better hope it's a 10 out of 10 or it's an album that never gets old. So do you feel like that the Marianne Leigh experience is the song that you can get stuck in your CD player, cursed forever, to play over and over again?
Well, it's stuck in my CD player at the moment. I keep listening to it, and I don't know. I really love it. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Like, I do scream the lyrics in my car, and it's really fun. And I would 10 out of 10 recommend it for screaming lyrics in your car. You should do it.
You reckon? Yeah, it's a scream. Yeah, so it's a screaming lyrics. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Not that it's like screamo kind of stuff. It's just like you just want to scream the lyrics, just like how you would scream along to Taylor Swift.
So, because you were mentioning the Tay Tay before we started the interview.
I
mentioning how she's a
was,
bit
yes.
she's a bit of an influence for you by the sounds of it. She pops up
How did you
in
know?
the Marianne
Vocabulary.
Marianne vocabulary a few times by the sounds of it.
She does. She has for a while. She's great. I like her a lot.
There's a few Taylor Swift. There's a few Swiftie wannabes on that side of the ditch. What's going on over there? Something in the water.
Probably. I don't know. She no, I really look up to her because she is just but like, yeah, no, she is a really great role model for someone who just wants to be a great lyric writer. I think that's why I really loved her music. Just the lyrics are really strong, and it's a great influence on
So
my
just
writing.
a great way how to just tell exes to stuff themselves in the most, I guess, gracious way possible. We're talking about
Definitely.
a
It's
wealth
so
of breakup
empowering.
songs.
Oh yeah, but they're all so good, and they've earned her like how many Grammys? So she's doing something right. She's doing something right.
It's probably just, yeah, I think the Grammys come from the album sales, I think. So listen to your track enough times, Marianne, and you might be up for one too. You know, 100,000 times in a month, I think, is the aim, because then you know, they might actually pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, you should tell people that to do it too, so it's not just me.
Oh, okay. So you get a few 100,000 listens. Okay, I get how this works. Right. I see. It's all just, you know, it's big brain time here with Marianne Leigh. But in all seriousness, it is wonderful to hear, you know, now that you've got the EP out and you've got that, in your case, something physical to hold on to that is your own creation.
Yeah.
Is it sort of, I don't know, now that you've had a bit of a time to listen to it, you're finding that you're one of those people that can really pick apart what you've done and you go, well, next time I reckon I can probably improve on it? Or are you still just really chuffed at it? Is it still that 10 out of 10? 10 out of 10
Well,
release?
I mean, honestly, I am joking most of the time when I'm being like, yeah, it's like it's the best thing ever. Like, I don't know. I don't really know many people that write music and think that way. I think a lot of us are very critical, and I think that's a good thing sometimes, because it makes you do better. Yeah. Because this is my second EP, actually. I did my first one when I was like 16, and the songs were very 16, you know?
Oh, yes.
Very 16.
Yes.
And you know, I'm really proud of that, even though it was so different than how I write now. And so I think it's important to be self-critical. And yeah, definitely, I do listen to the tracks and think, oh, I could have added this in. But also, I think I did this and I'm proud of it, you know?
So what's the difference between a 16-year-old song and an 18-year-old song? Because I like, it just doesn't seem like that much. And you zoom out a little bit, it's like it's 2 years. It's 2 years of bad exams and, you know, failing at your English class and, you know, getting absolutely pelted at and you know in the PE sports trials. Like,
How did you know?
Yeah. Well, we've all been. Like, here's the thing: this is like, you go, what, you've experienced this too? What, you all went through school as well? Like, you're talking about it as if you're you're Jesus carrying the crucifix right here, Marianne. You know? Get a little perspective.
No. Yeah.
But to bring it back to the question, like, how much do you think, looking back between your first EP and now this new one, what sort of changes can you really pinpoint between those two releases?
Well, 2 years, it's not a long time as far as like life goes, of course, but 2 years in teenage terms is significant from 16 to 18 because you're an adult at 18. You start driving, you start being more responsible, you meet more people, you do more things. In general, you just kind of have more freedom and you just live a little bit more.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, at least I found I just had more freedom and I just did more things that I wanted to do. And it was less of like, it was just, yeah, I don't know. And also it was 2 years of practice. So there's actually one track on the EP called Apologize Reprise, which it's called a reprise because it's a redo of a song called Apologize, which was on the first EP.
Right.
So what I did was so it's like, it's the same song, but re-recorded, redone, new lyrics, new melodies, and a brand new chorus. So that was really cool. And it's kind of what kickstarted like me to think that this EP is kind of like a transitional project for me as an artist because I could really see my growth. And yeah, I think my lyrics have improved because I've always been like a hopeless romantic and like a sucker for the ballads. But I also had to learn how to write upbeat stuff as well. And that's where Sweet Goodbyes came in.
Yep.
And yeah.
So is this going to be the case now in every single release? You're just going to do a reprise of the reprise at the start of every record? Is that it? Is that what's going to happen?
That would be like a Billie Eilish. Have you seen her like 70? No, it's not that. It's like her questions every year or something. Have you seen that on YouTube?
Yeah, it's every year they ask her the exact same questions and they play back the old questions. Yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah, and each year it has a different color. So
well,
together, she's basically after a couple more years, she'll be the entire rainbow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have never actually thought about like doing a reprise of a reprise of a reprise, but who knows? I might do a Sweet Goodbyes reprise.
Write that down.
Yeah.
It just calls up the producer. I've got the idea for album number 3. You're not going to believe this.
Yeah. Now, honestly, I have already written a song for, I don't know if it'll be an album, but I've written a song and I've demoed a song that I like. And honestly, who knows where it's going to go? But I'm excited to find out,
So you were talking, though, before about especially your lyrics and that. What have you noticed that, like, thematically, there's been a sort of shift in how you sort of show perspective in your songs, like where the narrator is in those songs? Do you find that 2 years of life experience, as you mentioned before, just adds an extra layer that you didn't have before?
I think that I learned how to write about it better because, to be honest, I did go through like a breakup that I wrote a lot about when I was like releasing the first EP. So,
well,
I mean,
you had to milk it. It's not worth it if you don't get 5 songs out of it at least.
So I think I learned how to like actually write about it better. So there's a song called Could Have Been the One on the EP that I wrote when I was 17, I think. And it was like soon after the first one. And I love that song. And I still love that song, even though it's been like, to me, I really like to improve each year. But even though it's been like over a year, I still love it. And I forgot what the question was. What was the question?
Oh, well, you were just talking about like how you think you've matured with that lyrical content, which is sort of, you were sort of answering. Just keep prattling.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I always kind of go on tangents. Just say, Marianne, stop, or just cut me off. But yeah, I think I've just gotten better at describing how I feel. And also, like, not being so depressing, because like just because you're sad doesn't mean you have to write a super sad song. Like, you can write a kind of almost comical song like Sweet Goodbyes, which I wrote with my friend who kind of taught me to be a little bit more upbeat and like fun about it. Like, he.
So you've already had sad emo teenager phase. That's already happened by the sounds of it. What's the next phase then? Like what stereotype are you going to draw inspiration from next so you can milk that cow?
Low-key.
Low-key or up-key?
Low-key. I don't know if you say that a lot, like, but like I say, like in
it's
Australia,
a Gen. I feel like this is a Gen Z thing, and I just don't get that.
But like low-key, I've really started leaning into the whole like pop punk kind of vibe. Okay. And like the song that I've demoed is, I mean, I so badly want to say the name because the name of it like literally describes exactly what you're asking, but I probably shouldn't say it just yet. But it's you can't
give away too many secrets at once.
No, but it's like playing into like the crazy ex stereotype.
Oh yes,
the crazy girl that writes songs and is a bit weird about it.
That old chestnut. That's a time-honored tradition in songwriting, I feel. Just the crazy, absolute crazy bitch period phase. Is that what we're going to call it?
Yes, I like that. Okay, yes, okay. That is definitely what I'm leaning into.
You're going to wear a bit more jewelry and dye your hair black. Bit too much mascara.
I mean, they can't see right now, but I'm wearing a chain. I'm wearing a chain right now.
I didn't even see. I thought you were just wearing some sort of like light necklace. Is that an actual chain?
Well, it's a necklace chain thingy.
You should get one of those big.
For people listening.
You should get one of those big, fat Cuban link chains. You know, the ones that rappers wear? And they're
Yeah, I think I do.
You can probably get a fake one.
That's going to be my next phase.
You can probably get a fake one from the $2 shop. And it'll probably break after a week, but it looks cool on stage.
True.
But no,
could do that.
But so you've got so we've got some interesting things to look forward to musically from you. But speaking of what you've just released at the moment, I see that you had the pleasure of working with, I believe it's your longtime collaborator, Emily.
Yes, I love her. She's my producer.
Tell us a bit about your working relationship with her. What's it like to get in the studio with her and lay down the tracks?
She's so fun. So the way I got into music was I always wanted to be a musician, but I didn't know how to go about it. So the way I did it was I entered a ton of competitions, songwriting competitions, which the reward was to record a song at a studio. Okay. And I ended up winning some of them, and that's how I met Emily. And it was just by coincidence. She messaged me and she was like, "Hey, I'm doing some solo stuff, just like helping out some musicians. Let me know if you want to work with me sometime." And I was like, "Oh my God, perfect timing. I have a ton of songs that I want to work on." And honestly, it was like so much fun. I would just go to her house, sit in the chair in her little studio, and we would just like gossip and just talk, and sometimes just like chat and just have a good time. And then songs would come out of that like really relaxed, nice environment. So she is wonderful. She's so encouraging, and she really helps me branch out, because this album or this EP is so different from my other stuff, especially my single Without Me. So it's really cool that she just encourages new things.
So when you're getting in there, are you very much focused on building it up from scratch? Like, do you start with an instrument and just build it up from there? Or does Emily whip out the old 808s and just pump out some back and beats? I don't know. What's the usual experience when you're putting together a track?
Well, I write everything on my own, apart from Sweet Goodbyes. That was co-written, but that's really unusual for me. So I write everything myself. So I always have the song finished. I'm kind of particular about that. Yeah. I don't like it when people try to change my songs. So I went in there, and like with Without Me, it was like a really slow guitar song, and I played it to Emily, and she was like, "This is good. I love the hook, but can we speed it up?" And I was like, "Okay." And so we started adding on lots of things and listening to different reference tracks, and just instrument by instrument, we just started adding on more things. I think the first thing we did was like put in the demo into the little program, and like she literally sped it up so fast, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of vibey, kind of sad, but kind of vibey." And then and then we started listening to reference tracks and like adding in different ideas, and it just happened, and yeah, I've loved it ever since.
So she's just one of those. It sounds like she's one of those one of those producers you can just really just get along with so well that it doesn't feel like you're working at all.
Yeah, it definitely not work. It's not work. It's fun. It's so fun. So much fun.
Were they taking like the actual like amount of time that you'd spend on the songs? Was it a case of that it was time was flying so much you actually did spend a lot of time on it? Or was it a very efficient process? You know, you really sort of got everything done so quickly, maybe more quickly than you realized.
It was kind of like, it was while she would mix the song, like we would lay down a track, she would mix it, and I would just be like, "Yeah, so the song was about this," and I just like, "Oh my God," and I would just rant about things, you know?
Yeah.
And often it was always like music related. Like I'd be like, "Oh, I love this beat in this song. Like I wish I could do something like that." And she'd be like, "Is this something you'd like to do?" And then she like adds it in, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you're amazing. You're amazing." So that was the kind of, it was always just like gossiping about music things and stuff like that.
Yeah. So just obviously for you, just, you know, ranting about your favorite Taylor Swift moments. It's just literally a medley of all of that.
Yes. And she's a Taylor Swift fan as well. So I wouldn't even have to play the songs for her. I'd be like, that song, she'd be like, "Yes.
Yeah.
I know that one."
So you two got obviously very similar musical tastes by the sounds of it. You two are just engrossed in the same love of the same music.
Kind of, but also but of course she's a producer, so she has to know a fair bit about
a little bit more. She needs to be able to get those reference tracks in and just go bananas by the sounds of it.
Yeah, the really fun thing about going in the studio is your song coming alive, like filling it out completely. That's just the most fun thing ever. I love it.
Was there a favorite moment in terms of maybe something she suggested that she added in that sort of elevated one of the tracks to the next level that you didn't think of?
The most like I do like to be quite in control of what I put in the songs.
Yep.
So most of the time it would be like I would have an idea and it would just be about how to execute it. Like I would say like I'd be like, I really want a super, super high note that plays in the chorus that you only hear a few times after listening to it. And it's one of those things in a song that you notice after a few listens and you're like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And like, that's so vague, but I would say something like that. And she'd be like, oh, okay, record it right now. And I'd be like, ooh. And then she would like add so many effects to it. And I'd be like, yes, you know? So she was super good at just listening to what I wanted and making it sound how I heard it in my head.
Right.
Sorry, I keep hitting my desk.
That's fine. It only comes up a little bit. I do it myself, actually. So it's like if you hear the tapping in the back, it's just me tapping away.
Yeah.
It's okay. But no, it sounds like that. You say like you were so switched. She was so switched on with what you like. Now that you've had the chance to work together, that it really is just such an ease, such a breeze to work with her that you do end up getting something that's quite consistent, which you can sound throughout, which you can sort of gauge when you're listening to it. Everything sounds very consistent, which I like.
Yeah, we wanted to make the EP, although like as you listen to it, you can hear how I'm changing as an artist because each song is from like a different part of my life. We also wanted it to be coherent.
Now, what's it been? Have you always been somebody that's enjoyed playing your songs live? Because it sounds like you're very focused on getting, as you said before, having that full control, having that song already done before you even go ahead and attempt to record it. So are you very much a person that likes playing the songs live before you sort of work out what you're going to do with them in a recording?
I love playing live. I do, because I love that really intimate like space to be able to tell the audience exactly what the song is about. I love a good like small show that's not too small, not too big, but like really nice where people truly care and they listen to what it's about, and then you play it to them and they really connect with it. That's just my favorite thing. When people come up to me afterwards and say, I really connected to that. I love that. That's just the nicest thing ever. So I do love shows like that. And there's one song, Could Have Been the One, which is on the EP, which I did play live. I played it live like 2 days after I wrote it. So I was super nervous about getting all the words right, but I played it, and so many people came up to me and said that they really related to the heartbreaking lyrics. Cause it's a song about love that nothing dramatic happened. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I think sometimes that's the hardest to accept, because you want to hate them because it's easier to hate them to move on. But sometimes you can't, and you just have to accept that they could have been that person. And so, yeah, for Could Have Been the One, I think I learned from playing it live that sometimes you just want to hear a really sad ballad. It doesn't need a pop beat. It just needs the sad lyrics and the guitar.
So have you had a chance to play your songs, though, with the band much?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I haven't really had a band before, but I decided to put one together with my friend Nate, who helped me record the first EP. And we did a single release show like early August, like right before lockdown happened for Auckland. Yeah. And we played some new songs. We played Sweet Goodbyes. We played, it was so much fun. And it was really cool connecting with the audience when it was just me and my guitar. And then like everyone like singing sadly, and so fun. And then everyone joining back in and like jumping and like having so much fun with the whole band. I love that. So
what kind of setup was it? Just like classic 3-4 piece going on, or did you have a couple of tricks up the sleeve?
The tricks we had were like different starts and stops in the song, like fun covers. Like we did, oh my gosh, we did The One That Got Away. That was a hit. People love that song. Oh my God.
You went for the real crowd pleaser there. You really did.
Oh my gosh. And it was so funny because like all the like middle-aged men were like crying along with everyone else to The One That Got Away because it's so good. It was really funny.
So are you planning, obviously sort of the lockdown over there has sort of put a bit of a spanner in the works of playing live, but is there more plans to do that sort of band setup once you can, sort of moving into the new year?
Yeah, for sure. I'm sorting out a tour at the moment. So I'll be like, as soon as we're allowed to, we will be doing shows. So really, I guess the best thing to do would just be like follow along with my social media for announcements for that, because I can't confirm anything right now, unfortunately. But yeah, as soon as we can, we will.
Yeah, yeah. Where is there anywhere around New Zealand yet that you haven't played? Any towns that you haven't played that you're really keen to?
Right now, I'm thinking of course, a few shows in Auckland. I want to do Wellington. I want to do Christchurch. I have some really cool people there that I'd love to like see at a show. Gosh, where else were we thinking? I can't remember right now, but a few different places.
Just all over, just everywhere.
Because why not?
Exactly. There's no reason not to. Well, money and time, but let's not think about that.
But why?
But why
Come
not?
on.
That shouldn't be a factor.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah,
It sounds like though
who
you've
cares?
got a lot of plans coming out. Like you've got a lot of really exciting things that you're planning to do when you can.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's really fun to plan those things. It's really, it's exciting.
I was going to say you were talking a bit before about how you want to change your styles up, and it's sort of more to do with like your aesthetic rather than the style of song per se. But are there any genres in that you're kind of keen to explore a bit more, maybe on your next release that you haven't yet? Because it is very much like your vein so far is very much like the indie pop sort of thing mixed in with a bit of folk and rock and all that sort of thing. But is there sort of any styles that sort of would push you beyond those boundaries that you'd really like to try?
Yeah, honestly, the punk pop is what we've been trying. And I don't know why, but like I have been writing more in it recently. Like I don't know. I'm not like more upbeat or like fun than I was before. So I don't know why I'm suddenly writing like that, but I am.
Somebody didn't gift you like an electric guitar and just because it sounds better or something like that. Like, is that what's going on?
Actually, what's quite funny is on my single release night, I was supposed to play with my acoustic, and my brother's a guitarist, and he was there on the night. And I was like sound checking, and I was like, why isn't my guitar working? And for some reason, just wasn't working. So my brother gave me his electric, and it just all fell into place. I had a great time playing it, and I really want my own now. And on the demo we've recorded, there are electric guitars and a lot of them. So who knows? Maybe that was the moment.
So So what guitar did he have? If you don't mind me asking.
I don't know. Electric.
just some Stratocaster derivative or something like that. Something.
It was yellow.
Something classic.
I don't know.
That doesn't help me. It's just the color of the paint.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know. Yeah.
You can't be serious right now. You have a lot to learn. Next time we interview you, you're gonna have to just impress me with all your guitar knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I know what it is, but like I'm not about to say it like on radio. You know what I mean?
You don't want to embarrass yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got an image to cultivate, and it's not one of incompetence.
But it's not my guitar. Like I haven't seen it very much, so I played it and it was fun, and now I want my own.
Okay. So. You didn't break too many of your strings, I'm guessing.
Oh my god, I actually did. I did break a string on stage. I did.
Which one was it? It's always either the G string or the E string, isn't it?
It was the E string.
It was the E string.
Yeah, but it was because I was rocking out too hard. So I don't know.
It's always
it was actually
every guitarist has I broke the E string story. Everyone does. It's just a fact of life.
No, I had never had that happen to me on stage before, but it was really fun. Actually, I wasn't like scared or like nervous or embarrassed about it. Like it was like, oh my god, it was so fun that I broke my string.
How far into the set were you when it happened?
It was the first song.
Oh, so did you replace it?
Yeah, it was so cool. Like the crowd, I didn't really notice it broke until like after the song, and the crowd. My brother got another guitar, and it was like floating through the crowd, like coming like over to the stage, and I just picked it up, swapped it out. I felt really cool, to be honest.
Oh, so he did have a spare. Okay, so they didn't replace the string; they just got a new guitar.
Nah, they just passed me a new guitar, and it was funny. Like my band was playing like elevator music while I was switching guitars. It was really cute. It was such a good night.
Sound like a very, very, very tight. They're very very professional. These guys, they know exactly what to do when things don't go according to plan.
Yeah, they're great. And I was just on stage like, oh my god, my string broke. Someone help. and they fixed it. And it was
So, look, I'm kind of curious because I noticed too with a lot of your EP artwork and that it's very much, and your single artwork, every single photo you use is just you gazing off to some angle in very seriously. I want to know what it's very consistent, just like the record. Now, whose idea was it to do the whole gazing very seriously thing? What's the whose smart idea was that?
Oh my God.
Yours, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't like you should. It wasn't like you should. I have an idea, Marianne. You should look straight into the camera, like into their faces. It wasn't like that. It was more like we more brainstormed like the vibes, the clothes, the aesthetic, and the photos. It honestly is just coincidence that like the good ones were when I was like staring into people's souls, and like straight in the camera.
Well, no, I'm just looking at your. I suppose some. Oh no, yeah, some of your other older ones are. I know, but I see like the EP one is actually the only one where you're actually not looking into the camera. So is that just a happy coincidence?
For a hot second, I actually forgot what the EP cover was, but yeah, I was looking at.
You don't admit. You're talking about things you don't want to admit and get wrong. That's a big no-no, Marianne. Like, you've got a lot to learn, son.
I was confused which EP you were talking about, and I was
EP.
like,
which one do you think?
Wait a minute.
The one that we're playing, the one that we're talking
You
about.
said you were talking about the old one.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, wait, no, I was like, no, but I was looking in the camera for the old one. And then I was like, oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just looking now. I think it is. Yeah, you're right. You're right. On the old one, you are looking directly at the camera. So I apologize unrefutedly, Marianne, for that transgression. But but I am right in the fact that this, I believe, is the only cover. This current Simple Things, the new EP, that's the only cover where you're not actually looking into the camera and you're actually looking wistfully away to the side.
I was looking at the Simple Things title.
Oh, okay. Is that what's supposed to be happening?
Yeah.
So you were looking at in the shoot, you're looking at nothing, and they're like, "We'll add that in post." They weren't just hovering letters in thin air.
Honestly, when it comes to like coming up with those covers and things, it's just like me like looking at it and just trying to come up with lots of different like ideas, and I just liked that one, and I thought it looked cool, and so that's what it is.
How much do you think comes into it? Like, do you prefer the sort of visually speaking when they're taking pictures of you? Do you prefer the ones where there's like this sort of interplay between the light and the dark, and where you're sitting in the photograph? Because because it seems to be in a lot of these photos, it's very much the position you're sitting in and where that relates in terms of certain colors. And I don't know whether that's just coincidental or whether that's actually on purpose when you're picking those pictures.
I did like with the Simple Things cover, I really did like how because the EP songs are quite different, like each song's quite different and almost like a different genre, some of them. I liked how the EP cover was it could just be interpreted in different ways. It wasn't too specific. And I like how there's like a little bit of color, which kind of gives like a hint to the more like upbeat fun songs. Well, I find my own meanings in things like that. And then I like how the rest of it is quite simple things, and each cover art I think really suits the vibe of the song. Like Suddenly, I love that cover art. Not in like a way like, oh, I look good there, like not like that at all. It's in just like
line up, boys. Mama's coming to town.
No, in just like the way that I think it really captures just that kind of love that I sing about.
Girl,
in that song,
you look good.
Suddenly. So what I like about the single covers is how each one, like if you look at Sweet Goodbyes and then Suddenly, like they're very different vibes, and I like how Sweet Goodbyes is a bit more playful. It's got the plaid shirt, it's got the layered jewelry, which I'm not sure if you can really see that in the photo, but I like that. And then in the and Suddenly, it's just far more like calm, and it's there's nature. Like I was in nature for the shot, and it's far more like almost like folky kind of vibe. So I do put effort into like matching each cover with the corresponding song.
So with these songs, I noticed too, some of them are guitar songs, some of them are piano songs. So do you write the piano songs on piano when you've got, because Suddenly is a piano song compared to a few of the others?
Yeah. When I'm writing my music, I generally go to a guitar. So I used to go to a ukulele a lot when I would write, but it's not really, that's not really my thing anymore.
That is really 15-year-old white girl material, isn't it?
Yes. Listen to Little Out of Reach. That's literally that song. I don't really go there anymore, but I do. Yeah, I usually go to the guitar, but with Suddenly, I actually started writing it on guitar, and I just, like, it was just like an instinct. I was like, nope, that's not what the song is. And I went over to the piano, and that's where I wrote that one.
So really just it doesn't really necessarily, it's always a guitar thing. You start guitar and then you sort of work out, this could work better on a piano. And then you might sort of test it on there.
In general, recently I write more on guitar because, like, honestly, it's because the piano is like not in my bedroom. And songwriting is a very like personal thing for me. Like if someone else is in the room and they're not like co-writing with me, I can't do it. Like I can't, because it's just like, I can't focus on it. So the piano is like in like my family, like lounge. So it's just like people are always around. I'm like, it takes an effort to get people to like leave. So it's better to just write on my guitar,
People are just hard to manage in general, aren't they? It's too much effort.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. No, that's cool though. But yeah, it's cool that you can sort of adapt the songs as they go, depending on what their strengths sound like they're going to be, which is awesome. We're going to play soon. We actually may as well say we're going to play. I believe it is Suddenly soon. Yeah, we are. We're going to play Suddenly a little bit later. So we'll hold that thought there and then come back to it. But compared to what you were expecting when you went in, how close is the final product compared to your initial expectations? Is there a lot of difference, or are you very happy that it's sort of gone as close as where you thought it would?
I think the biggest surprise, and it's always the most fun thing as well, is like hearing which songs are people's favorites, which are the ones that people pick out and save to their playlists. Because it's really cool. I can see like what songs people add to like different playlists, like sad songs, and like I see like different songs that or like their party music. That's really cute. I love seeing that. So I was surprised to know that my song "Come Back" is quite like popular with people, because it's one of those songs where it's like really special to me, or like it's really special to the songwriter, but you think, well, it's not a extremely commercial one. It's not a fun one that you could dance to. It's a personal one. And so when people like those kinds of songs, that's really lovely. And that's been really nice. So yeah, hearing what songs people choose. And in terms of like the response, my family and my friends and people listening have been really sweet about it. And honestly, because we're so early in the release like process, I'm still kind of finding out every day like different things. So
yeah, I know
exactly. I guess we'll find out like how it goes.
Well, no, it has, and as of recording, it's been less than a week since it has released. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come with the songs, which is really exciting when you think about it.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, we are going to play. We're going to play Suddenly soon, and you've sort of touched on it a bit, but I was maybe hoping you could give me the lowdown, the real Marianne Leigh hoedown of this particular.
The low key.
Like the low key. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of it. The low key down of this particular track.
Like what it's about.
Oh, if you can. I'll let you interpret that question how you see fit.
Well. For a long time, I've wanted to write a song, a love song that wasn't just cheesy and annoying. And so like, I'm in love, blah, 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 those kinds of songs, those are annoying. And I think as a listener, I really it's hard to like a love song for me because I don't know. I think a lot of the time they're really like happy love songs because they can be like really cheesy and annoying. I don't know. And so for a long time, I really wanted to write a love song that was like peaceful and calm and just mature and just really captured the feeling of like calm, safe love. And I remember like when I listened to Lover by Taylor Swift to bring her up again, it was that same kind
that tick is counting every time you mention it.
Yeah, take a shot every time I say Taylor Swift.
That's the Marianne Leigh game.
Yeah. But yeah, no, to bring her up again, that like Lover by Taylor Swift is a song that kind of captures that kind of love, or Perfect by Ed Sheeran, or those kinds of songs. So I was really excited when I started writing Suddenly because it was that kind of song. And I was 17 when I wrote it. Like, I'm not like married, like I'm not, I don't know. I was really surprised that I could write from that kind of perspective because I don't know. I felt a little bit young to be talking about that kind of stuff, but it was really cool. Well, sometimes when inspiration hits or like just ideas flow, you write about stuff that, I don't know, you just like...
It's beyond your years, just feeling a little bit too mature. Didn't suit well with Bad Bitch Marianne, did it?
Yeah.
Get me the mascara
that's
out
for
now.
The future. But yeah, no. But
These
yeah,
folks
suddenly...
don't know what's going to hit them, really. I think you're just writing sappy love songs. Then you're gonna come out with a punk rock vibe next.
Yeah, well, suddenly, I was really excited about that one, and I didn't know how it was gonna, because we did a music video in Christchurch. I flew over to Christchurch, and we did a music video of a couple dancing, and me like on top of this mountain, like singing like into the camera, and like me playing at this grand piano, which I never imagined could happen, but it all just kind of fell into place. Once I wrote the song, it all kind of happened, and it became a lot more than I ever thought it could be. So.
Oh, you had your sort of singing in the wild cliche music video.
Yes, I had my moment.
That's a bucket list item you can tick off now. Just
it was really cute. I really liked that. That was really fun. It was a really fun time.
That is a little bit Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 miles.
Oh, yes. I know that one.
Grand pianos in the wild.
Yeah, isn't she like going down a street?
Yeah,
or
making my way downtown.
With her?
Walking fast. It's as if the lyrics
fast.
reflect the music video.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You had your Vanessa Carlton moment, which I think is, she was 17 when she wrote that song, or 19 or something stupid like that.
Really?
So that's probably why I'm getting the connection. So, people think that's a very mature song. It's also a party banger. But nonetheless, you can be 17 and you can write these stupidly mature songs. So then when you are 30, 40, when people expect you to write the mature shit, you can have your midlife crisis and have panic and be all panic stations, You can go and buy a boat, which is what I've been told is the classic midlife crisis purchase. A boat
or like
that you
buy
never
a really
use.
nice car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like a Ferrari or something like that. It's either a Ferrari or a boat.
Or write a really good song.
I
might do that. Hopefully, I do that.
That's a boring midlife crisis. So it doesn't cost you. It doesn't.
No,
make
it
you
would
bankrupt.
be fun. Yes, it does to record it.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're going to have to do the whole like orchestra, get the Wellington Philharmonic in.
Oh my gosh.
Get 14 kazoo players.
I need to have that moment. I've had my moment singing at a grand piano. I need my moment with an orchestra. That'll be really
fun. Import a tribal choir from
yes, backing singers.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I see where this is heading. So, all right. It's a very well thought out. You've thought about this very in a very detailed manner, Marianne. I'm not sure if I should feel worried or not.
I'm excited now. I'm a planner, but you're giving me the ideas.
So you're going to use up all your life savings on a children's choir.
Yeah, and no.
Actually, no. That's why you get children's choirs, because you don't have to pay them, guys.
Oh my gosh.
And Daniel's industrial relations tips segment is over for the week. As we thank. Well, actually, what instrument would you love to have in your next record that you haven't had yet?
Gosh, I don't know.
Maybe because you just haven't had the chance, or you haven't really thought about it. Be like, I like that instrument. I'm going to use that one day. Like
maybe like a trumpet.
Trumpet's
I've never
pretty
had
good.
a trumpet.
Trumpet's very classic.
That'd be cool.
You can do a lot with a trumpet.
That'd be super. Like a jazz song. Oh, that's cool. Because I don't think I've done like a jazzy. Like that'd be cool.
You can have your like 1940s jazz.
Oh yes, stop! You're giving me so many good ideas. I'm going to take them. I'm going to use all these ideas.
You can do the whole speakeasy thing after you your bad ex
my punk
thing.
phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I see you got your whole career planned already and you're not even 20.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
That should keep you going.
I'll credit you.
Yeah, that should keep going till about 2035 and then
Yeah.
so to worry about
And then
that.
I'll talk to you again. Yeah, I'll give you credit. I'll give you a percentage.
Yeah, and I can ask you how well it went, and you can tell me how badly it failed or how well it went,
Yeah.
But Marianne, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure having you on, chatting about the EP and everything else.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much for having me. This was kind of like a gossip session rather than a little interview, which I like.
It's all gossip.
It's like, it is a little bit.
We're the good gossip, though. We're not like the Channel E, the exclamation mark, where it's like, Johnny Depp crashed another car again this week. It's like, okay.
Oh no, this is a fun chat.
This is the banter hour. This is what this is.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, and it's great to hear so happy with the release too, and I hope it sort of grows on you. You fall out of love with it for a while, and then you come back after 6 months and you listen to it and you go, I was pretty badass in this.
Yeah.
But we are going to play Suddenly. So, Marianne, why don't you do us the honours and then tell us what we're about to listen to and who you are, for those of you that have already forgotten, I guess.
Well, my name is Marianne Leigh, and you're about to listen to my single Suddenly, which is from my brand new EP, Simple Things.
I want you in dark lit rooms, in nights of only us. I want jokes only we understand, victory days and nights we don't plan. And if being crazy and young is what you wanna do, then I'll be crazy, but only with you. And suddenly I'm falling again, and I don't know what makes it different, but it does. But it does. I know how to read your eyes, how little things can make it alright. Just come and pick me up, just us is enough. And we don't need the parties, just for you to hold me. And suddenly I'm falling again, and I don't know what makes it different, but it does. But it does. Simple things like walking me home and trying so hard when things come undone. Oh, you make things so different. Future plans that we shouldn't make. They say we'll fall through, but we do it anyway. Oh, you make things so different. Suddenly I'm falling again, and I don't know what makes it different, but it does. But it does. Suddenly, 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 suddenly.
AustralianMusiciansRadio.com